I remember years and years ago when I first played Dead Rising on the Xbox 360. The idea of a game where you were stuck inside of a mall and you can use anything at your disposal to dispatch of massive hordes of zombies was absolutely captivating, and it played really well. While there were some faults with the original's release, it was definitely a highlight of the Xbox 360 era for me. So you can imagine how excited I was when they announced a deluxe remaster, which was essentially a remake of that original game. So in this video, we're going to take a look at Dead Rising Deluxe Remaster and see how it runs on the Steam Deck, and how we think it's going to perform for the rest of the game. If you want to see more videos like this, hit that like and subscribe button, and hit the notification bell to be notified as soon as our next video goes live. This was also recorded on the Steam Deck directly, so your experience may be slightly better than what you're going to see here. And thank you to Capcom for sending us a key for the game for us to review. In the beginning of the game, I did notice that the screen would freak out if you tried to launch with the default Proton layer while watching one of the opening sequences. You can fix this by using Proton GE, which you can get by following our guide, link in the description. I'm using Proton GE 9-13 and it fixed the video on my end. So far, I've played through all of Case 1 and took some time to explore major parts of the mall, and really nothing has dipped below 30 frames per second for me. I decided to start off keeping all my settings at default and use FSR3 performance since Ultra Performance looks way too blurry. And for the most part, it holds really well. Some inside areas even went as low as 15 watts of battery drain with the frame rate capped at 30, while others, like the outside parkish area, could drain at around 22 watts during the daytime. But regardless, both held at 30 frames per second. While playing, I was a little bit concerned about RAM usage since it did get dangerously close to the maximum amount that the deck can handle, but it did not crash. Especially with newer games, asking for 16 gigabytes of RAM has become more normalized, and that doesn't usually account for any VRAM it needs as well. With the Steam Deck only having 16 gigabytes to share between both RAM and VRAM, it can be tough for some of these newer games. Thankfully, Dead Rising Deluxe Remaster is not one of them. Throughout the entire experience, I did encounter one part in the beginning where it did dip below 30 frames per second, which was the opening scene where you're in the mall and you go to the front where all the zombies are barricaded. But after that scene, it all went uphill. I assume it's because of the sheer amount of zombies that are on that screen, because throughout the rest of the game, there aren't as many polluting all around, and you can change how many zombies are going to be appearing on your screen in the game settings. Overall, there is still a lot more to play. I have more cases to go to and more playthroughs that I want to go through, but I am more on the optimistic side now. We are going to be reviewing the game, and I want to make sure the entirety of it runs well on the Steam Deck for that review. But overall, I do think it's going to be very playable. If I had to make a judgment call right now, I would say 30 frames per second is going to be that sweet spot. We may be able to improve graphical quality a little bit more, make it slightly less blurry, but if you're playing on the smaller screen, it's not going to be that noticeable, even if you're playing at the settings that we have here. Regardless, I'm really looking forward to playing through more and seeing what kind of quality that we can squeeze out of this game to get the best possible experience that we can get. I've always been amazed by what the RE engine, which is the game engine that's used to power this game, can do for optimization and lower end systems like the Steam Deck. And I'm very surprised and very happy to see what we have here with Dead Rising Deluxe Remaster. So kudos to Capcom. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like and subscribe button, and hit the notification bell to be notified as soon as our next video goes live. And a big thank you to our patrons. You guys are awesome. See you next time.